kind of emptied the bench there at the end a little bit today.
Yeah, it was good. Get everybody some work and get those guys in there and see how they do and mix it up a little bit. So it was good to see, and it's good to see some of those freshmen start to get more and more comfortable. Jacoby Hunter continues to be a guy that's impressive, and Johnny Reagan, same thing. And so it's good to see some of those freshmen kind of starting to play more comfortable and more confident.
And Mitchell Bartolo wasn't around earlier in camp.
Yeah, he had a chance to come into camp, and so he's done a good job of getting in here and getting things going. And he's a great kid, hard-working kid, and brings some energy to that running back spot.
What prompted you to bring him into camp?
We had a spot. I don't even remember why we had a spot, truthfully. Think about it here for a second, but we had a spot, and so we brought him in, and he's got to go through a little bit of acclimation, 3 days of acclimation with no shoulder pads, but then he'll be free to go.
Hagan didn't do anything today?
No, he's struggling a little bit health-wise, and so we'll see. We'll kind of see how that plays out.
And yesterday you weren't real thrilled with the offense. How did you evaluate?
Yeah, it was better today. Yeah, energy was better from the start. The focus was better. We've kind of hit that point that during two-a-days where guys are, or during camp rather. I guess we don't do two-a-days much anymore, but where camp, where guys start to lose their legs a little bit, and then everybody becomes a step slower, and the execution's not very good. And so anyway, we didn't have a very good mentality yesterday, and thought the mentality on the offense and the defense both was really good today. And thought it was a competitive practice.
It seems like you guys have gone through kind of a rotation there. The first 3 days, kind of every quarterback got a day, and then.
And then we'll sit down tonight to kind of evaluate those things and then try to see if we can't make a decision and see where we go from there, whether it's name a starter or whether it's narrow it down.
Will Monday's scrimmage play big into that decision?
Sure it will. It will a little bit. I mean, you want to look at the whole body of work, and we don't have that much to make the decision, so it's got to be a little bit based on what we saw in the spring as well. I mean, you've got to factor some of that in because we had 15 chances to evaluate guys. And then you've got, obviously, more importantly, what's been going on out here today, that we just haven't had as many opportunities. So, you don't want to base it on one performance, but you want to try to look at the body of work. But again, the team settings and the scrimmages are going to be important.
How do you think each of the guys that look like Hinder bounced back a little bit?
Yeah, I thought Hinder was better today. We'll just look at it and see. I thought, based on what I saw today, I thought they all performed pretty well. I think the timing was better. The throws are getting out a little sooner. I thought the accuracy was better, particularly with Hinder. So, we'll see how it plays out.
Delfani looked like he had a couple of nice returns.
He did, yeah.
We had really in the picture there.
Yeah. He'll be in the picture from day one on the kickoff return stuff. Could be the starter. We'll see. There'll be good competition back there. Cam will be back there. Treggs will be back there, and so we'll, Bigelow when he gets healthy will be back there. He didn't practice today. We held him out of the contact stuff. And we'll do that again from time to time. Kind of what we've been doing with Nick Forbes. He was back out today doing some stuff. So, the guys that are a little bit banged up, we're going to hold them some. And,
Nick did mostly drills, all right?
Yeah, he did a little bit of team. Toward the end. Not a ton, but just a little bit.
Sebastian's still out today.
Sebastian's out today. I think he'll probably be good to go for the scrimmage, would be my guess. But we'll kind of see how he progresses.
And you won't do full pads until Monday?
We won't do full pads until Monday.
And then McCain had his pads off there at the end. Is he still kind of struggling keeping that shoulder?
Shoulders bothered him a little bit. I don't think it's the same injury. I think it's more of a bruise. But I don't think it's any residual effects from the surgery.
So where's the plan to get Nick Forbes back full go and everything?
Oh, we're going to just bring him along through camp. I mean, he's going to be a guy that it's a back injury, and sometimes those things flare up when you get a lot of work, and so we're going to rest him and try to be preventative as much as we are, reactionary to when he starts having issues with it. So, the idea is get him healthy and get him well and get him feeling where he can practice every day, but we don't want to put too much on him right now.
You mentioned the tired legs. Is any thought that you might give him a day off at some point, or?
We will. Not for a while though. We'll continue to go through camp a little bit and see. And I think our first scheduled day off is next Sunday, I believe. I don't know if we'll go that long before we give them one. We'll try to evaluate it and see, make some decisions. But that's the scheduled day off. And one could happen before then, but more likely it'll probably be a week or so.
And on the quarterback deal, you're thinking next 3-4 days.
It's tough to say. I mean, I wish I knew, but it's tough to say.
If you knew by now, you would have said something.
Yeah. I think. And the timetables it's just hard to know. I mean, it's like I said the other day. I think we'll all know. At least I hope we will. And, I don't know when that's going to take place, but I think, I don't think we're going to have to. I don't think we're going to surprise anybody. Hopefully, when the decision's made.
You know what was up with Trey Cheat today? It looked like he was.
Yeah, I think he pulled a little bit of a hamstring. I don't know how severe it was, but I think it was just grabbed a little bit, and we took him out. And so we'll see. Hamstrings are funny. You never know how serious it's going to be, but he's a guy that could be out for a little time.
Back to the quarterbacks. What's the minimum amount of time that you'd like to have a guy taking #1 reps consistently going into the season?
Typically a week and a half. I mean, is the minimum. Ideally it's about 2 weeks, but minimum's about a week and a half.
What have you seen out of Hardy Nickerson Jr. just since he's been filling in for Nick?
Yeah, he's been great. I mean, he's a guy that we kind of thought, based on his performance in the spring, might challenge Nick for that spot, and he is continued to just improve his game. He is incredibly focused, dedicated, hardworking, ambitious, all the stuff that you want from that position. He's a good athlete, and he's got a lot of toughness. And so, guys like that, you want to find a spot for him to play. And so, as we say all the time, all those spots are up for grabs. Nobody's got anything locked down. Wherever the best player is going to play, and he's made the most of his opportunity.
Would you consider moving him outside to play along with Nick, or what?
Not really. I mean, I think we got enough guys outside, so we feel like he's a better fit inside. His skill set fits better.
And speaking of linebackers, Dave Wilkerson's a guy that's struggled health-wise in this couple of years. Has he been healthy in camp, and how's he in the next?
Yeah, he hasn't been healthy yet. I mean, he's got a pec muscle that's strained, and our thought is to kind of the same thing with some of the other guys: bring him along, see what he can do, and then increase the workload for him. And so that's kind of where we are. He's not doing much right now, which is allowing him to focus on some stuff academically as well. So then next week we'll kind of get him back in, get him evaluated, and then make some decisions.
Same thing with Malala, the academic stuff?
Yeah, I think he's the exact same thing. I think he'll, back second half of the week, next week, I would expect him to be, done with school and healthy and, ready to get in the mix.